What did I hear? What did I hear? I know. I heard that shots were fired near Hair Plug Biden's home, the vice president, but neither he nor Jill were there at the time. The FBI is scouring the area. The Biden's home sits hundreds of feet off any main road, but the police are checking to see if any of the bullets that were fired had hit their home. Personally, I don't think anyone shot at the home of the vice president. They wouldn't want to waste their bullets. Yeah, he's too important to keep as a comedian. He provides almost as much entertainment as the chosen one. That's Barack Hussein Obama. Hussein. Yeah, well, anyway, folks, Tuesday the 20th should be rather entertaining. That's when Obama's going to address the nation and lie. I wonder how many Pinocchios he's going to get, huh? What do you think? Anyway, this isn't about the chosen one. This is about Biden. When I first heard that shots were fired, I thought that might have been Jill. Remember what Hairplug Biden told Jill? If anyone comes around, just shoot the shotgun off the balcony. Give it a couple of blasts. Yeah, he forgot that there's schools around where he lives as well, but that's a different story, you know? Hairplug Biden. I can't believe the amount of money that's wasted on Secret Service duties for either one of these jackasses. And if you are aware of this, you might not be, but I've mentioned this before. When a president leaves office, the last president to get Secret Service for life is Billy Bob Clinton with his skag, Hillary Rotten Clinton. Yeah, they have Secret Service protection until they're put into the ground. Yeah, and George had it, or has it for 10 years after he's left office. But when Obama took office, he did one of his executive orders, you know what I mean? He took out his pen, signed an executive order, and he changed it back to the way Billy Bob has it. So when he leaves office, if he leaves office, both he and Michael will have Secret Service for the rest of their miserable lives. Well, that's assuming, of course, that he doesn't get arrested for treason, which is what I'm hopeful will transpire. But that doesn't look real promising, because if there's any chance of it happening, it probably would have already happened. But I'm one of those folks that believes anything's possible. Yeah, you know, you sort of wonder what happened to Mike Zulu. He sort of fell off the radar, didn't he? Yeah, there was all kinds of talk. He's got all he needs. He's got everything that's required. And he was ready to announce it. And then he said, well, hang on a second. There's some more. We got some more stuff. Yeah, I got to chase this stuff down, too. That was about 8 months ago. Hey, I'm not knocking him. The guy tried. And I think they put together a fairly decent case if we had a honest judicial system, which we don't have. You know, if the Supreme Court was really interested in the well-being of the American people, instead of listening to homosexuals being able to get married in the states where presently they can't, they should, as I have said earlier, they should clear off their plate and deal with Obamacare. But they're not going to hear that until sometime in May, end of March. The end of March, I apologize. And what they're going to be considering is whether or not the subsidies that are presently being given to all Americans that apply for Obamacare, they don't even have to be Americans, by the way, for anyone that applies for Obamacare, they receive subsidies based on their income or lack of income. And those subsidies are only supposed to be given to individuals that reside in states where the states opened up the exchanges. The law was written like that to force states to do their own exchanges, because if they didn't, their citizens would suffer. But since I think 37 states chose not to open up their own exchanges, the administration is still offering subsidies to all Americans, or illegals, or whatever they are, which is against the law. The Supreme Court's supposed to take that up for consideration in March. If, in fact, they rule that the law has to stand, then the subsidies will vaporize for all those states, which in essence would end Obamacare. I'm inclined to think that that's not going to happen. I'm inclined to think that the Chief Justice, John Boehner, wants to keep his children in America. And if you watch my videos earlier, you know that I believe the reason that he said that it was legal for the Senate to tax the American people is because his two daughters that were adopted came from Ireland. Americans are not allowed to adopt children from Ireland. Only Irish citizens can adopt children from Ireland. But that's a different story. I'm sure that had nothing to do with his decision. That's just a coincidence. You know what I mean? So, the fact that they've gone down that road once before, I gotta believe they'll go down that road once again. And if this was really an important issue, which it should be, you'd think once again they'd clear their calendar. But instead, what are they listening to? They're listening to jibber jabber about homosexuals getting married. You know, I think this has got to cause the Saudis a whole lot of grief, because they're really not big on homosexuals. How they kill them. Yet Obama's doing everything that he can to have all the states legalize gay and lesbian marriages. Why do you think that is? Well, if you've been watching my videos, you know why that is. There is no Michelle Obama. There's a Michael Obama, who's a transsexual. Look at the massive size of his back. Look at the neck muscles. Look at how his ring finger exceeds the index finger by a whole lot. That's a man's trait. Look at the brow bone that Michael has. Notice all the different hairdos. One day he's got a haircut like Obama. The next day he's got flowing manes. How do you do that? What's really amazing is how they've been able to keep it secret. But it's really not secret. They just haven't come out and admitted it. The Muslim world would go wild. I'm sure that they speculate that Obama's queer, but they can't prove it. If they could, they'd probably do to him what we saw them do to another homosexual in that part of the world. They blindfold him and throw him off of a building. That's got to cause Obama a lot of heartburn. Anyway, I've sort of gone off topic, but there's so much to talk about, and it's all really interwoven. We'll see. We'll see what the Supreme Court rules. The tainted Supreme Court. You know, you see Lady Justice, she's blindfolded. Not this Lady Justice. You got Elena Kagan. How the hell does someone become a Supreme Court Justice, never having been a judge? Same way as a community organizer becomes president. The exact same way. deceit. And who do we have to thank for Barack Hussein Obama in the Oval Office? Well, there's Elena Kagan. There's the law firm that the less than honorable Attorney General Eric H. Holder was a partner in. And then there's Nancy Pelosi, who vetted him. Now what's interesting is, according to the Constitution, both chambers have to vet a presidential candidate. I don't even know if that happened, but it doesn't matter. He's where he is, and we are where we are, and he's doing anything and everything that he can to destroy the American way of life. We'll hear more of his idiotic schemes and programs on the 20th of January, 2015. And I'll tell you right now, none of it will be good for the American people. The people at the bottom end of the spectrum, they'll be excited because the guys at the top are going to be getting screwed. But what they don't realize is it all trickles down. The people at the bottom end of the spectrum aren't buying Apple iPhones or tablets or iMac computers. If Obama goes ahead and goes after successful companies, I got to believe Apple will be one of them. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to increase the cost of their products. And who buys their products? The middle class. You'd think maybe Obama might leave Apple alone because the CEO is homosexual. But hey, I don't think Obama gives a damn. Do you?